It is recommended that on the Mediterranean diet, you do consume a good amount of fatty fish. So that includes something like salmon, tuna, herring, sardines, and so forth. But it should be kept to low or moderate amounts. And that includes shellfish intake as well, because shellfish actually tends to be high in fat also. And the Mediterranean diet is also intended to be infrequent in the consumption of red meats, animal fats, vegetable oils, excluding olive oil, and processed foods. So you are preparing to make a change, and you have decided that it is time for you to make a change. And this is very important for your success and maintaining your health and management of your diabetes. I am grateful that you were willing to participate in this presentation, and we are actually going to continue with how the Mediterranean diet helps diabetes. So how does the Mediterranean diet help diabetes? Well, first of all, because it's usually higher in whole grains and not high in processed carbohydrates such as sugar or other refined grains, for example, you actually have better fasting glucose levels, as well as you are able to maintain your blood glucose in a better manner. It helps with decreasing hemoglobin A1C levels, and there's greater adherence and decreased disease symptoms related to diabetes. Now, for those in this participatory seminar, we intended for participants to be aware that 29% of those aged 65 to 75 years old have type 2 diabetes. 33% of those aged 75 to 84 years old have type 2 diabetes also. And this is just mentioned because the elderly tend to obtain diabetes in their older ages. If they do obtain it, it's not always a concern in their adult or younger years, like some may assume. And as we continue, an example menu that you may crave when on the Mediterranean diet, for example, salmon and eggs cooked in olive oil. For lunch, we'd have beans with salsa, brown rice, guacamole, and chicken breasts. This would qualify in the Mediterranean diet specifications. And then for dinner, we could have shrimp with quinoa salad and green dressing, which includes pureed kale with olive oil and lemon juice. And then a 1 4-ounce to 8-ounce glass of red wine if you desire to drink some. And then as we continue, external support for a Mediterranean diet. You are preparing to make change. Congratulations. If you need continued assistance, feel free to reach out to me or some of the other team regarding management of your diabetes and how we might be able to assist you in long-term management of your diabetes and having that support if you desire it, of course. If you would like a referral to another professional for nutrition-related therapy or myself, you are welcome to talk to me, and I would be happy to assist you with that. Healthy defaults in the Mediterranean diet and diabetes include choose a Mediterranean diet-inspired food item or dish when eating out or when trying to make meals or meal plans. And also take 30 minutes out of your day to move more, as we've demonstrated in previous slides that when you're moving more, it helps with better metabolism of carbohydrates that you consume. So how does the Mediterranean diet actually come to be? The digestion of carbohydrates happens in the GI tract, or the tract where your food goes in order to absorb nutrients. When the carbs or the sugars are eaten and therefore absorbed into the blood, insulin is released so that your body will respond and absorb the carbohydrates. Now, with insulin resistance, as previously mentioned, this can prevent the absorption of carbohydrates from the blood, and this causes high blood sugar, which is what a lot of diabetics struggle with. Diabetes is prevented with adequate fat intake. This is meaning when you are consuming a specific diet, if you consume a Mediterranean diet that has a high amount of olive oil or salmon or fatty fish, then you would be getting a large amount of omega-3s and omega-6 fatty acids. And this would help you in further prevention, but also management of your diabetes. Now, when you're eating lots of carbohydrates, it can actually lead to insulin resistance, and this happens because your body is overwhelmed with insulin, and it actually wears out and is no longer able to respond to insulin in a proper manner in which it usually would have. So, as previously mentioned, lifestyle, stress, lack of exercise, and diet can be a cause for insulin resistance and the onset of diabetes. But of course, managing stress, lifestyle meaning better hydration, not drinking as much alcohol, taking care of yourself, going to the doctor regularly, exercising regularly, and dieting well, such as the Mediterranean diet, has been shown by research to assist you in the management of your diabetes. So at the conclusion of this particular presentation, we are going to do a cooking demonstration, and the recipe that I included to prepare is actually seitan with piccata. I don't have a recipe on the slides for it, but I will provide you with a recipe that would be beneficial, and it'll also be in the handout if you wish to have a copy of that. It'll be available after the seminar is concluded, or you can ask for one during the cooking demonstration. Either is fine. So some other Mediterranean diet inspired dishes include bruschetta, or this is actually caprese. So it's tomatoes, basil, and mozzarella cheese with some balsamic vinegar, or you have a Greek salad with feta cheese and olives, tomatoes, spinach, onions, peppers, etc. And then the other dish is actually shrimp paella, and this is very common in some of the countries of the Mediterranean Sea, and they eat this and cook it as like a porridge for the community and what have you. As we proceed, I just wanted to share some other Mediterranean dishes that we can continue with. These include chicken piccata, which is actually a chicken dish with lemon juice and capers. It's usually served with pasta, though it doesn't have to be. You may serve it probably with some whole grain pasta or whole grain brown rice, if you wish to sub in a whole grain option, of course. And another dish is salmon with dill sauce. This is usually cooked. The salmon is grilled, and then it's smothered in honey and covered with dill sauce, which is made from cucumber, dill, and yogurt, and mixed together to make this cooling sauce that's really good. And then gyro or hero beef and other wraps influenced by Greece are really good Mediterranean options, and Italian style dishes that are low carbohydrate, that don't actually include a lot of processed pasta or flour. That is very common in American Italian food. So more vegetables and tomatoes are very good for other Mediterranean diet suggestions. And I previously alluded to the desire to discuss different types of protein and their ability to meet needs. And I think this is very common and sometimes it may be misunderstood. I only listed 5 and I didn't list any complete protein sources that are plant sources. So I will make sure to mention those as I'm doing this presentation. And then we'll have a further discussion about protein. So 1 cup of legumes usually has about a third the protein of a 6-ounce chicken breast. So you'd have to eat 3 cups of legumes to equal the same amount of protein from a chicken breast. But the only thing is that legumes lack a certain amino acid. So you would have to include a complementary protein. And usually these are commonly paired. For example, you see that I have legumes and brown rice included in this list, and legumes and brown rice are actually served as a complementary protein. So if you were to include 1 cup of legumes or beans and 1 cup of brown rice in your meal, then it would be a complete protein. And when I say 1 cup of chicken breast, that means 1 cup of diced chicken breast or 8 ounces of chicken breast undiced or what have you. And then 1 cup of salmon fish usually means the same, but 1 cup is assuming that the salmon is cut up and measured as a cup. So this would actually provide quite a bit of protein if you do it this way, but it's up to you. Of course, I just wanted to show 1 cup. So if you were to have 1 cup of chicken versus 1 cup of legumes and brown rice, you would need probably 3 to 4 times as much of the beans and rice versus the chicken or the salmon or the tuna. So I just wanted to take a moment to let you know that for participating in this seminar, I wanted to include door prizes. So I have about 30 to 40 participants. So I was going to give away 5 door prizes, and the numbers that you were given when you came in to the seminar are actually going to be used and drawn to give you an incentive for being willing to participate in the seminar. I know it's beneficial for your health and management of your diabetes, and it's really good that you participated in the seminar, but I wanted to give you a little something extra as a thank you for being willing to come into the seminar. So some of the door prizes include a set of cooking equipment, and these will be utensils for 1, kitchen knives. I'll have pots and pans for another, a gift card, $50 to Whole Foods, so you can purchase some of the suggestions if you wish to pursue the diet at Whole Foods. And then the 5th item is actually a nice sample of olive oil that has been imported from the Mediterranean region of Europe, and I thought someone might really like to have some of that to include in their Mediterranean diet as well. So those will be the 5 things that will be given. And at the end of the seminar, we're going to have a question and answer session. We're also going to do a post-seminar survey. And I just wanted to thank you one more time, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And I just wanted to show you these last 3 slides, and I hope you have a happy and healthy day. Thank you.